Hello everybody, NJ here, and welcome back to another Minecraft farm tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to build this super efficient barter farm that you see right here in front of me. This was a design originally made by Gnembon. I'll leave his video in the upper right hand corner on the iCard as well as in the description below. I highly recommend you go check out his video. But this is a barter farm in Minecraft 1.16.3 and above. Gnembon's video and his farm was released in 1.16.1, and in 1.16.3 the Piglin loot tables got changed and a refresh of all of the item filter was needed as the amounts got changed and as well as what the Piglins drop got changed. Now this farm right here produces almost 300,000 items per hour. It is a 90 Piglin barter farm. And my version over here, I tweaked some of the redstone up top to make it a little bit more user friendly, as well as tweaked some of the item distribution and that sort of stuff. Gnembon's original farm is right over here, and this world download as well as schematic for both of these farms will be in the description below. But basically all I changed is I took off this overflow detection because you really don't need it whatsoever. As you see, I took it off over here because as long as you have enough storage, because the Piglin tables reduce the items, it will not overflow ever. So yeah, just some basic things, and I'll explain it more in depth once I get there. But if you guys do enjoy this video, by the way, please do consider leaving a like, comment, and subscribe. It really does mean a lot to me. But without further ado, let's go in with the showcase. The first major thing that I found rather inconvenient about Gnembon's barter farm right over here was in order to use it, you would have to fly in from the top, which is also very precarious as these guys could be out and ready to kill you. But you also have to fill up all 8 of these individual double chests with gold in order to use it, and that's not kind of what I want to do. You know, that's a lot of work. That's not what I want to be about. So what I went and did for my farm over here was I took out 1/4 of it, so it's only 90 piglins instead of 120, so it's a slight decrease in efficiency, but it's also an increase in convenience. So I put in the roof up here an even distribution, so if you just go ahead and fill this double chest up here with gold, of course you would have to be in survival and just be uncrafting and putting it in here. You just distribute it evenly. Each hopper minecart here gets 3, as you just heard these pistons come up, because as soon as this dropper over here gets items, it will activate this hopper or the comparator clock, which will retract these pistons and will remove these blocks so the piglins can actually throw items at you. And then when that runs out 6 seconds later, which is equivalent to how long it takes for one of these guys to examine the gold and give you their items, it will also re-extend and blocking them. This basically prevents, if you fly into this farm, you're not going to actually run into these guys and get hurt or killed. Also prevents me being stupid and just walking right into them as well. Just kind of like a pseudo pacification for them and that sort of stuff. And then all you got to do is stand here, make sure your inventory is full of items. It can be any item as long as it's full, and then just go ahead and then flick the lever and you just go ahead and stand here. After 6 seconds, you should see you get items just started thrown at you, and I am in creative. I will switch to survival mode. As you can see, all the items are just falling through this hole, and then the redstone takes care of it from there. So let's just go ahead and turn it off. And it's as simple as that. And after 6 seconds, normally if you run out of gold, it will just re-extend and block the piglins from being able to throw stuff at you, but obviously there's still gold in it, so it's irrelevant right now. But then all the items do is they fall down this little chamber here, activate the string, and it activates the redstone, pushes items here, and pushes across over this item collection. And all we got here is double speed hopper unloaders, just like this, which will unload the items super quick, enough for new items to get through. So that is pretty much it for the showcase. And yeah, as I said, this overflow detection over here, Gnembon has it here so that any items that got missed can go through for a second round. However, I ran this farm for over 8 hours, and assuming that you don't run out of storage, you will never have a single item get past the filters. Now, if you're running out of storage, I highly suggest you just get a secondary storage somewhere else that you move the items into, or just expand the storage, but you should never need this overflow here, as well as that's pretty much all the redstone over there. And then the item filters, I will go into detail about what I changed and the rates for everything. So rates for this farm. So what I have on my screen right here is a counter using carpet mod for all the items that this farm can produce. So right here at the top we have 51,000 blackstone per hour, 55,000 gravel per hour, 20,000 soul sand, 21,000 nether brick, almost 40,000 spectral arrows. We got 13,000 leather, 18,000 nether quartz, 25,000 iron ingots, 13,000 string, 4,000 fire charges, 8,300 crying obsidian, 4,100 obsidian, and 3,100 ender pearls. And if you choose to sort non-stackables, and that is a complete choice up to you, you'd be getting about 4,100 total. And then here are the breakdown of it: 2,000 potions, 800 boots, 800 splash potion, and 500 enchanted books. And obviously the iron boots and enchanted book have different chances for being soul speed 1, 2, or 3. But that is all for the brief showcase. If you want a more in-depth explanation about how every little detail works in this thing, highly recommend go check out Gnembon's video. He is very good at explaining things and goes very, very detailed and very much in depth with how everything works. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the tutorial. In order to build this farm, these are all the materials you are going to need. So just a real quick explanation. These don't have to be blocks of gold. They can be any solid block. I just chose to use blocks of gold, but again, you don't have to. And all the hoppers, chests, and barrels you will need will be varying upon your storage system. But again, what I'm using, this is all the exact amounts that I'm using. You will need a good bit of all this stuff. You don't need any wool that's in this list, and I'll go ahead and scroll through this nice and slow for you guys. You do not need blue ice. It can be packed ice, but a good bit of this is not necessary. The streamlights don't have to be streamlights, they just have to be some sort of light source. A lot of these blocks I simply use for my labeling of the item filters just on top, but most of this you will not need, but a good bit of it is in fact necessary. So I'll just go ahead and scroll this closely. Hopefully you got it. If not, you can go ahead and slow it down on YouTube and get me when you're back. But the biggest thing is these don't have to be gold blocks, just any solid block. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and build the Piglin holding chamber. So go ahead and find a nice place in a crimson forest. That's going to be the easiest to get the piglins in there, and the farm is going to go this way. So this is going to be kind of like the far back corner, if that makes sense. And you're going to go from this block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then on the 11th block, go ahead and place one block of blue ice or packed ice. Actually, no, these have to be blue ice here. But you only need 8 blocks, and then just make a 3x3 ring with the middle cut out, just like this. These do actually have to be blue ice. They cannot be packed ice, but it's only 8, so you should be okay. And then go ahead and place a sticky piston, just like this right here, as well as here and here. And then go ahead and place an a downwards facing observer on the face of the sticky pistons, just like that. And then the next thing you want to do is just go ahead and place a couple of decoration blocks. Again, you can do these as however you want to. I highly suggest you light this up because it's going to look a lot better. But again, your choice. You do what you want. Once you get here, next to these observers, you're going to place solid blocks. These are where the piglins are going to be standing. It doesn't have to be quartz, but just has to be solid blocks. And you want to get yourself some white stained glass and then place it along just like this. And then 2 blocks in the middle. And instead of placing glass here, you're actually going to place a trap door and make sure it opens like into the chamber to block the piglins in. And then above their head, you're going to also want a glass block just like that. Now, of course, you don't want these yet because you still have to get the piglins in there, but that is how it's going to look. And you just want to go ahead and do this for all of the 3 sides, just like this. And just like that, you are done. Oops. Don't fall off like that, though. And then just place the trapdoors in, and just like that, you are done. Next thing you want to do is come to the back in between the 2 chambers, place a dropper facing upward with a cobweb on top of it. What the cobweb does is it basically any item that is dropped out of the dropper is going to get item aligned in the middle of the block. That is one special thing that cobweb does, is it'll align things with the middle of the block. And all you want to do is come 2 blocks below, just like this, and then break that block. So if you were to extend that piston, just like this, you get a nice observer clock. And also go ahead and place these levers just like that. That's how you're going to be turning on the gold distribution, or the gold dispensation, I mean. And then go ahead and do these observers for the other 2 sides just like this. At this point, it would be a good idea to start considering trying to get your piglins into the chamber. You need to try to get 15. Optimally, you will have 15 in each of these chambers, so you'll have 30 per side and then 90 in total. A really nice trick that I learned when I built this to get them in is you want to just build out 24 blocks till you have a nice spawning platform, and then you just want to build out. I'm just going to use SpawnX because I'm in creative, so I have that privilege. And then once you come over here, place a block there just so you create a little cage. 1 block up, and then go 2 blocks up on the side, just like that. And I'm actually going to do it out of gold, just so you can see where I'm talking about, just like this. And then if you go ahead and spawn in a piglin, you have to make sure he's holding a sword. You cannot use the crossbow piglins, because in survival you get his attention. If you just go ahead and run, and then you want to shift as soon as you get on the block, and then if you shift to the outside of this block, he's just going to run right in, and then he's going to fall right into the chamber. If you stand on this block in the middle of the block, just like this, he's just going to kind of stand there. Well, that wasn't very smart. If I just go ahead and grab another one, if I just stand here, he's going to run here, but he's not going to jump off, or he's going to run off to the other side just like that. But if you shift and come to this side of the block, he will just fall right on in. You just got to do that 90 times. I know it's going to take a while. It took me about 3 hours, but once you get it done, that's it. That's the hardest part about this whole farm, is getting just the piglins in. So once you get that, meet me back here. And once you got all your piglins in place, just like I have not done because I don't want to deal with the noise of them, but make sure they also are name tagged or holding a item or armor or something so they don't despawn, because you don't want to go through all that trouble again. Editing me from the future here. Make sure when you get all of your piglins in place, you need to actually place a vines in there with them so that they can actually reach the gold. It's a very crucial step that I forgot to say just now. But if you guys go and place a glass block or any block just in front of their face, you want to go ahead and break that trapdoor and place it so it opens the other way. And then just shift click vines on top of it. As you saw right there, they kind of lift it up a little bit. That is very good. That's exactly what you want. And then you can just leave that glass block there. But you need to make sure you do that for all of them once you have all of your piglins in place. But once you got all of them in place, you will just go ahead and place a flower pot right here so you don't keep falling through. And then also go ahead and then place gold along here. And then you want to go ahead and place an observer right here, just like that, with a piece of string right here, like that. And then you want to go ahead and place another observer just like this, and then 2 down and 1 across just like this. And then go ahead and place a block out like here. And now we are going to go ahead and start doing the redstone for the actual pushers and stuff. So you want 1 dust like this into a 4-tick repeater just like that, a block up like that, and then a block with some redstone just like that. Once you have that in place, you want to go ahead and bring a block up like that, and then a block across as well. And you also want to go ahead and bring a block up like that and place 1 dust right there. And then go ahead and place 1 more dust here and 1 more dust here. And we're going to go ahead and bring a 2x4 platform just like this. And this is going to be a comparator pulse extender. So we're going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3 this way, and 1, 2, 3 this way with dust at the end, just like this. And you also need a 2-tick repeater just like that. So next thing we're going to do is place 2 blocks out like this, and then place another 4-block long platform just like this. You want a comparator right here running into the side of another comparator just like that, and go ahead and grab a composter and then put it right on the back of that comparator so it's detecting the output, and go ahead and just put one signal strength in there. So any item in there, give a signal strength of 1, and then go ahead and place 2 dust just like this, 1 dust there, a dust there, a block right there, with 2 comparators running into the block, and then 2 comparators out like that, creating a second pulse extender just like that. Now on the back of this block, go ahead and place a torch with a block out just like this. So just a couple blocks out like this. Go ahead and place dust here, and a 4-tick repeater here, and then 2 more 4-tick repeaters on the other side of that, just like this. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to actually break that block because we don't need it. Go ahead and place 2 dust just like that, and then 1 block up like that with a dust right there. And you want a sticky piston with a solid block on its face. Any full block will work. I'm just using gold because that's what the rest of it is. And then on the end of this 4-tick repeaters, you want to place a solid block with some dust on it, with a sticky piston just like that with a honey block on its face. And then after that, you want to go ahead and place a glazed terracotta right here so it doesn't stick to that honey, and a 4-tick repeater running into a glazed terracotta block with a solid block right here, just like that, with dust on it. And then go ahead and do a sticky piston with a slime block right here. And now we're going to go ahead and mostly enclose this space with glazed terracotta, because we don't want any items to come out. Actually, don't place anything below it right here, but go ahead and above it just fill in this little chamber with blocks just like this. And what's going to happen now is items are going to fall down this hole right here. They're going to trigger this observer, which are going to push the items here, and then that honey block is going to push again, and then the honey block, the slime block is going to push one more time. And the last thing we need to do for item alignment as well is go ahead and place just a chest right here, and then you just need a block. Don't need a block, but it's probably a good idea, and just go ahead and put a block below it, and then a block above it. All this chest is here for is so items can't get pushed out, but it's still smaller than a full block, which is the same size as the honey block. So when this gets pushed, it will still be aligned properly, just like that. And then if you want to, you can go ahead and just fill this in. You don't have to, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave it just like this, and we're going to go ahead and move on to the second half of this redstone. And basically what this last part is going to be doing is basically detecting if this clock is still going, and therefore refreshing this pulse extender over here, which will just keep resetting this pusher so that no items get stuck in it even after that is empty. If the pistons are still extended, that observer clock is going, then it is going to still be working. So what you need to do is place a solid block just like this, and then come down 1 more block like that, and come 4 blocks out, place 4 powered rails like this, and you want observing it pointing upwards, and then down diagonally from that you want to go ahead and come out 3 more blocks, place rails like this, and then you want an observer that's going to be pointing downwards right here, just like this, and then a rail on its face, and that is going to trigger everything, and that is okay. So what's happening here, like I said, just once you refresh that, see all this redstone just constantly refreshes. And it's just simple as that. Now we're going to go ahead and do the gold distribution up top. So first thing we're going to do is break these blocks in the back of the piglin chambers and place hoppers, 2 hoppers, 1 on each side going into the dropper, with barrels on top of them, and we'll go ahead and do that on each side just like this. It's smart to do these 1 block at a time, just so the piglins cannot get out, because obviously if you break both of them and you're in survival, they're going to want to come at you. So if you just have both these blocks, just break one of them, do the hopper, break the second one, and do the barrel just like this. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to create the hopper line that's going to go into these. So just go ahead and come 1 block up, 2 blocks up just like this, and on this one we're going to go up 1, across, and then up 1, just like that. And we're going to mirror it on this side. Up 1, up 2, up 1, across, and up. And on the back side here, we're going to pick a direction that we want to go, and I want to go to the left side. So we're going to go ahead and do just like that. So now it's slightly offset, but it still works. Scratch that, do it just like this to have the 2 hoppers on the left side. I said left and then I did right. Make sure it is actually on the left. So next thing we're going to do is find the middle block, just this flower pot here, place a block into another block, 2 blocks there, and then 1 more block on top of it and break these 2. So you have a total of a 3 block gap, just like this. And then you want to go ahead and place another block next to it. It's going to line up with those hoppers just like this. And then go ahead and bring these hopper chains to the middle, just like this. And then bring all 3 sides so that each of these blocks should be having 3 hoppers on each side going different directions. Now we're going to go and put the hopper minecarts in place. So what you're going to need to do for this is place iron bars on these blocks right here on these hoppers, and then you're going to place 2 rails just like this facing into the sides of these, and then place 1 hopper minecart on each rail, and then go ahead and break the rails, and then push these hopper minecarts into the corner of the rails just like this. And it's okay if they get turned, and it's okay if you push it off. Just place a new rail and try again. And it's okay if they look angled, they're not the same. Their hitbox is still the same, as you can see. It doesn't matter which direction they are, they will still look the same. Now we're going to go ahead and place these pistons in glass. So break the iron bars and then place glass blocks 1 block above the hopper minecarts. Is going to be a 2x8 platform, just like, sorry, a 2x4 platform, so you have 8 blocks total. And then all you want to do is grab pistons and then a couple of redstone blocks and place downwards facing pistons on each and every one of these 8 glass blocks, just like that. And then go ahead and just place a couple of redstone blocks just like that, and then you can go ahead and break all the pistons and blocks, and these guys are going to be encased in glass. They are not going anywhere. Now the last thing we need to do is just grab a double chest and place it just here like that. And as you see, if I go ahead and throw something in there, it gets sucked out super quickly and evenly distributed. Next thing we gotta do is just add in the piston blockers, if you will, on the piglins. So what we're gonna need for that is some sticky piston slam blocks and glazed terracotta and glass. So we actually need to replace these corners here with glazed terracotta, as well as this 1 block there and this block here. And then we're going to go ahead and place sticky pistons facing downwards on the hoppers, the slime block on its face, and then 2 glass blocks just like that. And same thing on this corner, right here, the slime block, and then 2 glass blocks, and then right here as well, just like that, slime block, glass block next to it. And then finally on the last side right here, slime block with a glass block next to it. Now the next thing we gotta do is add the detection in, so where whenever we put items into the whole system, it will retract these pistons and let them throw items at us. So what we need to do for this is come to the right side of the farm right here, and this dropper we're going to be going ahead and put a comparator detecting the container, and then point that into a block with a redstone dust right here with a block next to it, and then a torch. And then I highly recommend using a shroom light here just for light reasons, just to reduce lag. And then just a torch on the side of it, and then you want to come out to a block next to it just like this and place a 2x4 platform just like this. Now we're going to place dust right here, and then 3 comparators facing this way. These do have to be facing into the farm, and these 3 have to be facing away from the farm, and that'll make more sense in just a moment. Next thing we're going to do is place a gold block right here where that comparator is facing into, and then we're going to need a glazed terracotta block right here with a dust here, and then you're also going to need some sort of either lever or button or something to redirect that redstone signal so it's not running into that sticky piston just like this. And just don't press that button. You don't need to. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Anyway, and on this block here, we're going to place one redstone torch just like this, a block here, and then we're going to be going and connecting up all of these sticky pistons. But first, place one solid block on top of the pistons, and then glass block next to this sticky piston here, and then next to this block, next to that block there, and next to this block here, and then up on this block as well, and then just like this, and then dust, dust, dust. Oh yeah, you also have to cut that signal off, and then dust all the way across, just like this. And that should have all these pistons extended, and if we just throw something in here, you will see they all retract very nicely. And if we take it out, approximately 6 seconds later, when that comparator pulse extender wears out, you will see all of the pistons extend, which will block all of the piglins from aggroing. And one last thing up here is go ahead and place composters on each of these exposed hoppers. This is going to help with lag reasons. So just do it if you're playing on a server, but also if you're playing on single player, just go ahead and do it. It's going to help you in the long run. Every little bit helps. Just every one of these exposed hoppers like that, and yeah, just to help reduce lag. And this last step is kind of optional, but how I built my farm is I built this little runway kind of thing coming out with some glass walls around it just like this. Not right there, just some glass walls like this, but every block you place as well needs to be spawn proof. Spawn proofing is not really optional, especially if you built this in a Crimson Forest. Hoglins are not going to make you have a fun day. So go ahead and make sure you just have buttons everywhere and just make sure nothing can spawn. And also up here, make sure you're placing a glass block here, here, and then that should be all the spawnable blocks right there as well. Go ahead and make sure that is like a button or something, just because that slime block would push it. And yeah, just make sure as we go, just all blocks are non-spawnable. So like they're there and right there, just add a couple of buttons just like that. All redstone components are non-spawnable, so you don't need to worry about that. Only 2 blocks down here you need to worry about. It's that block and that block, and you are all set. Now we are going to go ahead and start placing in all of the item distribution into the ice pathways. So go ahead and come down to where the items are coming out of the bottom of the farm, and go ahead and place 2 blue ice blocks just like this, and also make sure you have your buttons on hand. That's the easiest way to spawn proof things. It doesn't have to be black, so obviously it can be any button. And once you place the 2, place 27 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4,
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24,
5, 26, 27, just like that. And then go ahead and place 1 solid block, and then place 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ice blocks, just like that. And then place 1 right here, glazed terracotta block instead of that 5th block. So you have 4 ice blocks and then the 1. Scratch that. It's actually only 3 ice blocks and then the glazed terracotta block. But we are going to do the piston pushers real quick. So go ahead and grab an observer and some string. So place string on this very last ice block like this, and an observer pointing upwards into a block with 2 blocks just like this, and then come down across diagonal like that, and then go ahead and grab a sticky piston and a slime block just like this. Sorry, you need a sticky piston there with a slime block there, and place 2 4-tick repeaters just like that, and then 2 pieces of dust like this, and that was the first one. Actually, you can also just replace that with a block just like that. And also, go ahead and just make sure this thing is lit up. It's always nice to just make sure, overlight things up, don't underlight things up. And again, to make all this non-spawnable, just make sure you are placing glass blocks above it. And that slime block is also spawnable, so just make sure, just go ahead and place like some glazed terracotta and then just some glass blocks above it, just like that. You really don't want anything spawning in your farm. Trust me, I've had it happen. It sucks. And then also just make sure to place buttons along the entire ice road, just like this. Yep, and then come back to this glazed terracotta block here. We're going to be building the second piston pusher. So you're going to be placing some string right here on this middle block with an observer observing it into a block, and then another block just right here with a 1 4-tick repeater, sticky piston right there next to it with a slime block on its face. And also another important thing, make sure you place a chest right here next to it, just a single chest like that, because this slime block is going to push the things very violently into this chest, and then they're going to get pushed again by this slime block. And again, make sure you place your glass just like that. That'll work. And then just for safety, shroomlight, because why not? Torches work. Yes, torches will work. I'm just using shroomlights because I like shroomlights very much. They're very nice. After this block, however, go ahead and place 27 more blue ice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6, and 27, just like that. After that 27 blocks, you should end up 2 blocks short, just like this. And then on the end of that, go ahead and place 1 glazed terracotta, and then go ahead and grab your string, place it here, observer upwards with a block on its face, and then 2 blocks like that. And then we're also going to need we're actually going to need a sticky piston here, there this time, with a slime block on its face right here, and then 1 4-tick repeater into a block just like this, and a block on top of the piston with redstone dust just like that. And again, spawn proofing. And now for the next part of it, we're going to go ahead and place 10 blue ice blocks, or packed ice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then 1 glazed terracotta block, and then 1 more ice block. And then right on this block right here is where you're going to need your double sea pickle, just like this. And go ahead and grab your string back just like this. And on this block here, go ahead and place some string, which is a 1 block gap to the glazed terracotta, observer, and then go ahead and place a block, and then 4-tick repeater, just like that, and then sticky piston. Oh my goodness, sticky piston, slime block on its face, just like that. And then I highly recommend, again, just make sure everything is lit up. And then we'll go ahead and place 27 ice blocks again from the sea pickle block. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, 2, 5, 26, and 27 again. And then we're going to go ahead and repeat this system we have right here. So go ahead and place 1 solid block, 3 ice blocks, and 1 glazed terracotta block, just like this. And then coming back, string right here, 1 block from the corner, observer pointing upwards into a block, 2 4-tick repeaters coming out of that block, and then 1 block up and across with dust right there, and a sticky piston right below it, and a slime block on its face, just like that. And then right here, go ahead and place string in the middle with an observer pointing into a block, with 1 block next to it with a 4-tick repeater, sticky piston, slime block on its face, and again, make sure you go ahead and put the chest right here for item alignment again, and again, spawn proof your stuff. Embarrassingly enough, I know I wasn't actually placing buttons on the ice, but I've done that now, so now the ice is actually not spawnable. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and again place 27 more ice along this pathway just like this, and it should come even to right here, right there just like that. And I am placing my buttons this time. And once this is done, the ending here is kind of however you want to do it. So if you want to just go ahead and destroy things, I'll show you one way, and the other way of collecting things I will show you as well. But this is just the ice pathway. Now I'm going to go ahead and start laying out the hoppers and show you how to do that. So because this farm produces so many items and we can't use water streams or anything and we're using the ice streams instead, we are going to have a lot of sorting. And that's why this thing is so big. It's going to be 4 sets of 27 item filters, and instead of just regular item filters, these are actually going to be double speed item filters. So if you just want to go ahead and come right here, so how this is going to work is go ahead and just place one temporary hopper here, and then another temporary hopper just below this pointing downward, and then a hopper pointing into that hopper, and then break this first hopper and make it point straight downward just like this, and then go ahead and place like a barrel or a chest or something right here, and then a fourth hopper pointing into the barrel just like this. So what happens is when you get the item filter in place, this hopper will also have to be completely full, 5 stacks of whatever the filter item is. But every time one filter increases, this hopper will push one over, but also pull one out. So 2 items are lost, and then this hopper will push 2 down to refill this hopper just like that. So it's going to unload 2 hoppers at every hopper tick instead of 1. And now to build the filter for this, just go ahead and build your standard filter. So 3 blocks out, 1 block across, 1 block down, and 1 block in this kind of shape like this. A torch here, a comparator here, a repeater in this little hole, and then dust just like this. And go ahead and repeat this exact same process 27 times down this row. And once you have all 27 in place, it should look something like this. It's going to stretch all the way down to the very last ice block in this path, and then all the way down just like this. And this is going to be your 27, and yeah, it's going to look just like this. So as you can see, you have your hoppers pointing down, across, and down just like this. And I highly recommend, for a lot of reasons, once again, spam lights a lot of places. These can be torches, like I said before. But I just like using stream lights because they are more nethery. They're the most nethery light in my opinion. But go ahead and do this, and then you're just gonna flip it over here. So this is gonna be like a hallway, kind of like a chest hall right here. So go ahead and flip it over just like this. I'm just gonna show you real quick just so you guys understand, like this, and then hopper across, down, across, and up, and then your filter is going to be going this way on these ones. Just like this. So go ahead and do this now. It's going to be 27 times. It's going to go from right there to all the way over here. So come back once you have that done. And once again, here is what your 27 item filters are going to look like. So is it basically just take this and then mirror it over here, and I forgot to put in my lights. I will just do that real quick. Oh yeah, this is your 27, so this is going to be half of your storage. So go ahead and take this and copy and paste it onto these 2 sides just like this, following the exact same thing, this side being right here, and then this whole thing being right over here. And then finally, once you have all 4 of your rows in place, it's going to look a little something just like this. So now, before I go ahead and show you what to set the filters as, is what I recommend you set the filters as. You have the option of either keeping or destroying any of your non-stackables. So if you want to keep them, all you have to do is just grab just some chests or whatnot, and then just place 2 hoppers just like this. And then however you want to store these, I recommend, if you're going to do bulk storage for these kinds of things, just go ahead and do something a little bit like this, and then you can just do a compact and store quite a few things. You can run this into shulker loader however you want to. It's not going to overload any more than double hopper speed. It definitely does not. It only produces 4,000 an hour, so it won't even overproduce a single hopper speed, so you don't even have to do this. And of course, if you just want to go ahead and destroy it, you don't really care about that. Just go ahead and place a sand block at the end, a cactus, and then for added bonus, just go ahead and place a string on top of it to prevent it from growing. So now I'm going to show you what I recommend you set the item filters as. So due to the influx of items that you get, what I recommend is this first row is going to be entirely black stone, and gravel. So I usually set my first 14 as blackstone, and then the second 13 as gravel. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 of that, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 of gravel, and go and put it on there just because of the sticky piston. But I've run this on my single player world, or sorry, the server that I play on Strangecast server. I've run this for a long time. I have yet to overrun any of this storage. So that's what I recommend for these. For the second row over here, this yellow wool, by the way, will represent spectral arrows. It's going to be 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 soul sand, 8 nether brick, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the remaining 11 will be for spectral arrows, just like this. Go ahead and leave this block off just so you don't mess with the item alignment, by the way, but that's just to mark it out. And then this row over here, this orange is going to represent leather. It's going to be the first 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to go ahead and place 9 blocks of quartz. So for 9 of them for quartz, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then the remaining 12 are going to be for iron nuggets. And then this last row over here, we're going to go ahead and place 5 for string. And then these middle 3 are going to be for fire charge right here. And then you want to go ahead and also grab some crying obsidian and obsidian. We're going to go ahead and place 4 for crying obsidian, 3 for obsidian, and all the rest of these are going to be for ender pearls. And we are going to mark that with cyan wool, just like this. And that is all of the filter is done, or all of the markings for the filter is done. So now all you have to do is go through and actually do the filters for each of them. And how you're going to do that is it's a little bit different than how you would do a normal filter. So in this second hopper here, you have to fill up this hopper first, and it has to be of 5 stacks of the item, and it has to be completely full. And then this hopper up here, you need 4 items that will never go into the farm, because if it does, it's going to break. And then I would just recommend putting in 1 stack. It's going to filter down to 40. So if you're running low, 40 is the minimum amount of blocks that you need, and you need to do that for every single one of these. So this might be a little time consuming, but also a little bit resource heavy, just getting all the items you need. But yeah, for every filter, you need 5 stacks of items plus the 40 plus 4 in the top, just to make sure. And also, if you do decide to label these in the way I have, make sure it is spawn proof again. Place glass, buttons, just something to make all of this spawn proof. Just a couple last things. So obviously we have the barrels here for the storage. If you decide you want to go ahead and do some more storage, what I recommend you doing is go ahead and do something a little bit like this. This gives you a nice access to storage, and if you go ahead and just place a floor in, just right along in here, you can even go up ahead 1 more block and you can access all of these items just fine like this. And if you really need to go ahead and add more storage, you also have the luxury of adding even more per layer, just like this. But it is entirely up to you exactly what you want to do. I highly recommend doing something like this. Of course, you could run into a shulker loader, you could do that, anything. Well guys, I think that is all for this tutorial. Thank you everybody so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please leave a like, comment, and please do consider subscribing. It would really mean a lot to me if you would. If you have any questions on this farm or anything that you think I missed, please go ahead and leave that down in the comment section. I will go ahead and answer as many as I can, and I will help you as best I can. But anyway, thank you guys everybody so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.